Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, enrollment for Medicare Advantage programs is now open. We'll cover what they cover. Want your investments to be winners? Add a financial quarterback to your team. We'll explain. Then we'll up your awareness of available items for women pre and post breast cancer treatment. And baby boomers are exploring a new employment option to raise their retirement revenue. We're on the job with more info.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Feel like a change, or do you like things the way they are? Either answer is acceptable when it comes time for Medicare open enrollment, but both require some review. Abby O'Brien is here to review for us the options that are available and why they need our attention now. Abby is the Director of Broker Sales, Individual and Government Programs for Medical Mutual of Ohio. So welcome back to the show.
So great to be here, Lori. Thank you.
So why is Medicare open enrollment so important?
So it's so important because if you have Medicare, this is the time of year where you can evaluate what you have, make sure it's working for you, and if you want to make a change to a Medicare Advantage plan, you have until December 7th to do that. So still plenty of time, and if you did choose to do that, it would start January 1st.
Okay. So what's the difference between traditional Medicare and Medicare Advantage?
Yeah, this is important. So traditional Medicare is the federal program that the government set up back in 1966. So it consists of Medicare's Part A and B, A being your hospital coverage, B being your physician services. So original Medicare doesn't cover prescriptions. So if you have original Medicare A and B, you'd want to think through how you're accessing your prescription coverage, and that would be through Part D. It does give you the flexibility to go to any doctor or physician that accepts original Medicare, but that doesn't have an out-of-pocket max too. So that's another thing to consider if you just have original Medicare A and B. And what some do is they enroll in a Medigap plan to fill that gap, and then a Part D with that. So that's one way to cover yourself.
Okay.
But another way is through a Medicare Advantage plan. And a Medicare Advantage plan takes those A and B benefits and typically covers the prescription through Part D and puts them into one plan. And so, for example, at Medical Mutual, we also add dental and vision benefits to that and some wellness benefits. We have a great partnership with Silver Sneakers, and that gives our members access to fitness centers across the country at no additional cost to keep them healthy, and they can yoga programs, swimming programs, walking programs. So it's been a big hit for our members, the Silver Sneakers program.
Okay, traditional or plus a few maybe other benefits.
You got it.
Just something you have to choose from. So what should we be looking for in a Medicare Advantage plan?
Sure, so first you have to have Medicare's Part A and B before you could be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan. And certainly you want to think through all of your costs first and make sure the premium makes sense, your prescriptions are covered, but it's also important to note that Medicare Advantage plans do have networks. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of before you look at a plan, make sure your doctors are covered by that plan. Or if you're changing to another plan, there would be no disruption with that. So that's key to the difference.
How about prescription drugs?
So yes, and that's another important point. I'm glad you brought that up. So you'd also want to make sure before you're making a change that there won't be an impact on how your prescriptions are covered as well.
Okay, and also Medical Mutual offers HMO and PPO plans. So even more things we have to worry about. What's the difference there?
Exactly. So a PPO plan or a preferred provider organization plan does give someone the flexibility to step outside of that network and still have coverage, but you're going to pay more premium for that, and your benefits are going to be less when you go outside of the network. An HMO plan, you have to stay within the network, but benefits are usually richer and your premium's going to be less. Of course, if there's an emergency or an urgent care service that's needed, that's going to be covered on an HMO plan.
Okay, so it seems like there's a lot of options. What if we have questions about what to do?
Yeah, so a great resource is the federal government's website, Medicare.gov, and they have a tool that's called the Medicare Plan Finder. And based on where you live, you can put in your zip code, you can put in all of your prescriptions, and it will do an analysis of what plans are available to you based on where you live and what your monthly and annual costs would be for that plan. But I wouldn't recommend making a change without talking to someone, right? So we have licensed agents available directly that you can talk to over the phone that can help you navigate through that. They'd be willing to come and work with you face to face, any of your viewers if needed. And then certainly it makes sense to also ask your current agent that you're working with. We have many across the area independent insurance agents that are representing our Medicare Advantage plans as well.
All right, well, thank you for great information.
You're welcome.
If you have a current Medicare plan, the question now is, should you stay or should you go? You have time to research and review before rendering your answer, but don't wait too long. Medicare open enrollment ends December 7th. My thanks to Abby O'Brien for making us aware of our options.
Learn more about Medical Mutual of Ohio by calling 1-844-606-5387 or visit www.medmutual.com/go. Next, help calling your financial plays. But first, we're not lying when we say the two lions at the New York Public Library have noteworthy names. Do you know what these cats are called? We'll tell you their titles when we return.
What do Trump administration initiatives mean if you have $500,000 or more in liquid assets? They mean complex challenges and exceptional opportunities. Hi, I'm Jim Lineweaver, president of Lineweaver Wealth Advisors. To learn more about these challenges and opportunities, we've organized a panel of financial, tax, and legal experts with over 30 years' experience. Please join us for dinner at the award-winning Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse. Dates and times are on your screen. Call today. Complimentary dinner seating is limited.
Back in the 1930s, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia named the two lions patience and fortitude. Why? He felt those were the values New Yorkers would need to endure the Great Depression.
Who's calling the plays on your financial affairs? You may have a great team, but if no one is acting as quarterback, your players may not be in sync, and it's your money that will be on the losing side. Jim Lineweaver is here to coach us on how to have a winning strategy. Jim is a certified financial planner professional with the Lineweaver Financial Group. So welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
And the more you really think about it, you do need to have a lot of players on your team financially.
You do, and a lot of people don't realize it because you could have a stockbroker, you could have a life insurance agent, you could have a property casualty agent, you could have your accountant, your attorney. I mean, the list goes on and on. Mm-hmm. But the problem is a lot of them are disconnected and not always operating on your behalf, collectively, and that can create some problems.
But even if they're doing their job well individually, why do we need this quarterback person?
Well, because a lot of times in order to dot your I's and cross your T's, you have to understand how each decision could impact all of your financial life, like the legal, the tax, and things along that nature. So take, for instance, somebody that's just say, hey, I need some additional money, and maybe taking it out of a qualified account like an IRA as opposed to non-qualified where the taxes may be lower. All of a sudden, they may pay taxes on their Social Security. They also might get hit with higher Medicare premiums. So one wrong decision could have a ripple effect, and you might net out a lot less than you should have or pay a lot more in taxes and things than you should have.
Okay, do you have a specific example of how a financial quarterback could really save the day?
We do. This is where our whole team came together on the financial, tax, and legal side because we had a client that unfortunately had terminal cancer and they were still working. And what happens is if that person would have passed away before triggering their pension, the wife would have received 50% of his entitled benefit. But by having him retire and triggering 100% life option for her, or 100% survivorship option, she's going to get an additional $1 million in retirement that she wouldn't have normally gotten. And that was in about a 2 or 3 week time frame, so we had to do it very quickly. Mm-hmm. But also what had happened is this individual had a high-risk occupation. So luckily what he had done previously is he had put his kid's education, the student loans for college, in his name. And what happened is there is a forgiveness clause on those when he passed away, but that becomes a taxable income to the spouse. But because of coordination with the accountant and the attorneys, everything bypassed. It went through contract, and actually we got all the money to the wife and out of his estate. So normally what would happen is he'd be paying taxes on that, or she would be about $40,000, and because there was nothing left in his estate at the end of the year, $40,000 was also forgiven. So ripple effect, but huge, huge benefits, but it took that coordination to get it done.
Yeah, and I think most folks don't have really the time to coordinate or the knowledge to coordinate all of those areas to be that quarterback, but you've got a seminar coming up that could help.
We do, and we're pulling a team together. So we're going to have an accountant there. We're going to have Mike actually as the attorney, and I'm going to be the financial side of it. And it's going to be in Beechwood on Thursday, October 19th at 5:30, and Tuesday, October 24th at 5:30 as well. This is for viewers that have $500,000 or more in their investable assets to attend.
Okay, and it fills up fast, right?
It does, and there's no charge for it either. So
Ooh, good.
Have them give us a call real quick, and we can try to get them on the schedule.
All right, great information, and sounds like a good seminar. Losing a game, not a big deal. Losing your financial security, a game changer. Follow Jim's advice and choose a financial quarterback like Jim to help you cross your financial goal line. For help, give Jim a call. The number's next.
To find out more, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Discover fun facts, historical highlights, and more with a Circle Trek Tour, and it's free. Just head to the Wade Oval Information Kiosk on Saturday, October 28th at 10:30 for 90 minutes of guided strolling sightseeing around University Circle. To track down more information, call 216-791-3900 or click to www.universitycircle.org.
It's a major feat that our feet keep us upright as we age. But you may have noticed that they, like the rest of our body, have altered as we've grown older. Podiatrist Dr. Karen Rodriguez has joined us in the UH Broadcast Center to tell us why and what we can do about it. Dr. Rodriguez specializes in foot and ankle surgery at University Hospitals. So welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
So why do our feet change over the years?
It's just like any other part of our body. Our feet change as we age.
All right. I used to have such pretty feet when I was younger, and they're just not like that anymore.
I am telling you that everyone says the same thing, and it is normal. It is normal for us to think our feet were pretty and cute when we were 18, 19 years old, and then as we age, our feet change, and that's just part of regular, normal aging. That's not something to worry about.
Okay. So what's the first kind of problem that we're usually seeing?
So one of the most common problems that we notice is a flattening arch, and that's something that you really want to assess, because it can bring other problems.
Ooh, what are those problems?
So one of the things is our feet are meant to function in a specific way, especially our joints. So when the arch starts flattening out, we can start developing problems with our knees, our ankles, our hips, or even our lower back, because our body is one. Everything works together as one.
Okay, so what do we do to keep everything lined up and working together?
There's a few things that you can do, and the first thing is the easiest one, is just make sure that you're wearing the correct size shoe. It sounds simple, but I'm telling you how many people just come in saying, I've been a size 8 since I've been 18 years old, and I'm still a size 8. Well, you're probably wrong. just go in and get checked. As we age, especially when a flattening arch, we can change shoe sizes, especially also if you have other deformities like hammer toes or bunions. That's why you want to make sure go to the store, get measured. You don't only want to get measured in length, but also check your width. You want to make sure you're wearing the correct size shoe.
Okay.
Also, don't go in early in the morning. Wait later during the day when your feet are a little bit more stretched out to get measured. And always try on your shoes. That's something that for my male population is so hard. Just don't buy the shoe. Put it on. See how it feels, because all of manufacturers are different. So you want to make sure your shoes are fitting you properly. And the last thing would be just make sure that also the toe box is correct. Make sure that when you put your shoes on, that your toes are not all like on top of each other.
Like those really pointy shoes?
Yes, yes. You want to make sure that they're very comfortable, especially on the toe area, because that can avoid problems like developing blisters or developing calluses just by wearing a good fitted shoe.
Okay, but sometimes the shoe isn't just enough, right?
That's true. Just the shoe might not be the only solution. Sometimes we have to bring other things in. Something that we use very commonly, it's in arch support, or an orthotic, also known as an orthotic. And this is going to help us, especially with that flattening arch. And depending on the level of deformity, we might need over-the-counter, we might need custom orthotics, and that's where I would just say, I suggest just consult a podiatrist to see in which level you're at.
Okay, and how about the other things you mentioned, like hammer toe and things like that? Do those get worse over time, or?
Oh, absolutely, they can. A deformity, a toe deformity can get worse as we age. So if, let's say you notice that deformity at age 30, that deformity might be worse by the time you're 65, 70 years old. Something to keep in mind is that biomechanics play a role on that, genetics play a role in that. So not necessarily will get painful, but the deformity can get worse, can look worse, if that makes sense. Something that you want to make sure it's, if it hurts, make sure you address it. Don't just ignore it. And then that's when a podiatrist will come in. But if it doesn't hurt, you don't need to fix it. That's the main thing to keep in mind.
All right, great advice. You don't want your feet to fail you, so follow Dr. Rodriguez's advice for keeping them working and keeping you walking. Need help with that? Use the information that's coming up next. And my thanks to Dr. Rodriguez for keeping us on our toes about caring for our feet.
Thank you for having me.
For more information, call the Center for Lifelong Health at University Hospitals at 844-312-LIFE. That's 5433. Or visit www.uhhospitals.org/lifelonghealth. Up next, style and support. It's time to get up and go, an exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're here to show you how to work not only the back muscles, not only the bicep muscles, but also the shoulder muscles. You ready to go?
Ooh, multi-purpose.
That's right. We have a chair out in front of us. This is just basically to give us some distance and something to hold on to. We want our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to maintain very good posture. We have a dumbbell in our right hand today, so we're going to bend at the waist, lean forward and grab that chair. Let the dumbbell hang straight down to your side. Now from here, all we're going to do is pull the dumbbell into the chest in starting a lawnmower type motion, okay? 12 and 15 repetitions. Make sure your elbow comes past your back as much as you can, okay? So again, 12 to 15, switch sides. How's it feeling?
Ooh, my arms need this.
Pretty good, right? Yeah. This is a good overall exercise, guys. Okay, again, remember, make sure you breathe, exhale with exertion, and inhale as your body rests. Beautiful. All right, everybody, 12 to 15, and now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
We know there are promising advances in breast cancer research and treatment, but it's also important to focus on the needs of women currently facing this challenge. Shelley Graff has made it her life's work to provide support and personal products to women facing breast cancer. And she's here today to share these options that women really need to be aware of, right?
Right, absolutely.
So when women face this diagnosis, and it's pretty devastating, they don't even know what to do, you know, to where to go for help.
You're right, Lori, they don't. And even at diagnosis, they're not sure yet what their surgery extent is going to be. Some of them have no idea whether treatment's going to be involved, treatments such as chemo and radiation. So they're on this journey kind of blindly right now, too. So we try to be there to help them from the point on that a physician hopefully can refer them to someone like us to help continue that journey.
So it's not just the physical part of it, it's also the self-esteem and the whole how you get through this on a personal level.
Absolutely.
So, and people are already overwhelmed just by the diagnosis. How do you let them know about their options without adding to this overwhelming feeling?
You're right, that's very, very challenging. And by the time they're coming to us, most of them are very, very anxious. You know, again, a journey unknown. they still don't know what the outcome's going to be. So by the time they get to us, what was most important for me in creating this was the name itself. It needed to be elegant. It needed to be essential for them. So we welcome them in a beautiful, comfortable setting. We approach them when they come in the door so they don't have to be anxious about which direction to come. Some of them are like, okay, let's get through this. I'm ready to get to the next step. Others, very anxious, very emotional, and we read that in them. Those who are in that situation, we have beautiful, comfortable dressing rooms that we escort them back to. And that's a place where we can spend a good hour or so in a private consultation, take them through as far as they would like us to take them through on all their options that would be available post-surgery. And we stop when they're ready to stop.
All right. So what kind of products are we really talking about?
Well, we have a few here on display. Immediately post-op, which a lot of women don't know, and that's when we want to see them. They're going through surgery and they're going to go home with drains, sometimes 2 up to 4 drains that they're managing.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Most aren't, and they'll come see us sometimes afterwards and say, oh, I wish I would have had this. So you see pouches hanging on this bra here, and they'll hold those bulbs so they're not going to pull and hurt them. And then the products progress. 4 to 6 weeks of healing time will then progress into breast forms that then are held into beautiful fashionable bras that all have pockets that'll hold that breast form secure in the bra for them.
Okay.
And
you have help for people who have reconstruction versus using the forms?
Thank you. Yes, there's many surgeries. There's lumpectomies, which would only remove part of the breast, so there's partial breast forms, full mastectomy, reconstruction. They're going through a process that might be 8 months to a year long. So they're expanding, they're over-expanding, and we help piece that together as well. So we help them every stage to be symmetrical through that whole point, stay even through that whole point. So for appearance sake, it's undetectable.
All right.
Yes.
And does insurance cover these things?
They do. A great question. We contract with almost every provider out there. Their breast forms typically every 2 years will be covered. Surgical bras, 4 to 6 on average. Medicare allows up to 12 bras every year for a patient.
Oh my goodness.
Requires a prescription. We will request that on their behalf from the physician, and then we bill the insurance directly on their behalf.
Wow. You've been doing this a long time, right?
Oh my goodness, I hate to admit, over 35 years I've been doing this. I've owned Elegant Essentials for 25. The most gratifying thing I've done with my life, I think, is create this business for the ladies and serve them as best as we can.
I bet they feel the same about you.
Oh, I hope so.
A diagnosis of breast cancer means you'll be facing possibly challenging medical treatment, but there are items that can make it easier. To learn more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Shelley Graff for joining us today.
Find out more by calling Elegant Essentials at 1-800-350-5053 or click to www.elegantessentialsonline.com. Next, Concierge Career.
Right now, proton therapy, a revolutionary treatment for many types of cancer, is available for the first time in Ohio and only at University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center. That's the future of cancer care. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center. Right now, the trusted experts of University Hospital's Seidman Cancer Center and the most advanced cancer-fighting technologies are in 17 community locations. That's leading-edge care where you're most comfortable. That's UH Seidman Cancer Center.
So you've retired and now are missing maybe a sense of purpose. Or your children are all out of the nest and you were caring for your parents who are now gone. And you crave the fulfillment that the caregiving gave you. We've got just the job for you. Here to spill the beans on this growing field is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hello, Ray.
So hey there, Mike. A lot of people think they're not useful anymore when they reach age 60 or 70. So what is this new wave of work that is really helpful for the retired wave of people that we have right now?
Well, this new area it allows part-time workers to help older Americans live more independently. It's called Elder Concierge Service. So it allows baby boomers who are maybe retired but want to do something with their time, and they can work a little bit and provide a valuable service. And it's a growing market because every day there are another 10,000 people turning 65, and by 2030, I believe it is, there'll be 72 million people 65 or over. So it's a big growing market.
Wow, I would say so. So the job can keep you busy, help you make a little money, and help others. Sounds like a win-win-win to me. So what does the job entail?
Well, you provide certain services to elder Americans to help them, stay independent. You're not providing medical services. You're not providing, mental health services. So you don't need any special licenses. You just help around the house, maybe take people to errands or to doctor's appointments, or even just keep them company, a little companionship, and it helps them. And also, some people develop a new friend from the whole process.
Okay. So how much might a concierge make while helping out?
Well, it depends, first of all, what city you're in and what sort of services you're providing. But it can range from $18 an hour to $50 an hour. It really kind of depends. Sometimes instead of doing it by the hour, you might charge for a block of time a set fee. So it can vary. And it's a lot like the on-demand economy that the millennials are doing now with Uber and all that sort of stuff. Now it's on demand for these sort of services, so baby boomers can take part in it, and it gives them the flexibility. They can work the number of hours they want to work, make a little extra money, and they're providing a good service.
And that little extra money could just be a nice cushion for them.
That's right. That's right.
So, if we want to be a concierge, or we're looking to find somebody to do that job for us, how do we find somebody, or how do we find a job?
Well, you can go on the internet and you can type in, like senior concierge, Cleveland, Ohio, or Northeast Ohio, some area like that, and there'll be a bunch of places that'll pop up. You can look into that, or our sponsor, University Hospital, they have a website that should be on the screen as I talk, and it gives you a website to go if you want to volunteer or be hired to do these sort of concierge services. It's on that website.
Or if you're looking for a concierge.
That's right. Or you're looking. That's a good point. If you're looking for the service.
So you don't have to drive your Uber. I've heard a lot of commercials for that recently.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's,
you can actually help people.
That's right. You can help them. You don't have to drive people around in a car, or you can actually. You'll be driving around.
That's true.
Them to errands,
a little bit like that, but you can help them in your home or out, take them to the museums.
You can basically do what it is you want to do. Here's what I can do for you, and then you decide the price and just negotiate it. It's a good way to, as I said, make a little extra money and provide a good, valuable service to people.
All right, great info. If you want to make a difference to an elder senior, make a few bucks and feel vital in the community, find out about becoming an elder concierge. Or if you need a little extra help, want companionship, or need support, find an elder concierge to help you. For more information, call Mike. His number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, as you get older, you're overlooking essential nutrients perhaps. We have vital information about vitamins. Then if you have a hearing loss, a smartphone may not be the answer to keeping in contact with people. We'll call up another alternative that could be cost-free, and will help you turn your frown upside down. But until then, make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.